Hello, everyone. This is John,
And Brian.
and we are here with the second Undercover Brony podcast. We're very excited to get this finally up and running. Like I said, we were going to get
Absolutely.
one. We were going to get one ready once season 3 started, and it has. So, yeah, we're going to start off with just a little retrospective since season 3 has come out. A little retrospective of our favorite episodes from both season 1 and season 2. Well, I have 3 episodes from both seasons. The first one from season 1 is Dragon Shy. That was the big one that showed that if you piss Fluttershy off, be ready for an ass whooping. Um, but it was one of those things where that was the episode that solidified for me that Fluttershy was my favorite pony personally. Um, Second episode of season 1 that was my favorite was a dog and pony show. It is now and continues to be my favorite rarity episode of all time, especially with her whining bit, which was absolutely hysterical, and it did touch on the absolutely wonderful spike in rarity element, which I really like. Um, and then the third one of season 3 is Cutie Mark Chronicles. Um, it always seems like I have a CMC episode for both seasons. But anyway, with Cutie Mark Chronicles, I like your reasoning was pretty sound with it, that Dash was the one who gave everyone all their cutie marks.
Mm.
And I also like that it wasn't a CMC heavy episode, especially with some of the older CMC episodes not being that good. For season 2, first episode, which is quite late in the season, I might add, was Read It and Weep. The instant I saw Daring Do and the reference to Indiana Jones, I cracked a smile and kept it through the entire episode. Just that one thing, that one reference was enough to make it one of my favorite episodes. Second episode, that is my favorite from season 2 is Hurricane Fluttershy. This is actually an episode that does give me feels from time to time. There's points where it will bring me to tears at points. Um, Especially when you see the crying Fluttershy near the beginning. That sometimes that's heart wrenching
hmm
to say the least. And then the resolution at the end is really good too. Um, and then third favorite episode of season 2 is Ponyville Confidential, which is another M.A. Larson CMC episode. See, it seems to be M.A. Larson and CMC. Um, that I think is my absolute favorite of season 2 because it's it's one of those episodes where you notice the lesson a little bit earlier on, and the CMC
Yeah.
actually noticed it beforehand,
hmm
which is really good. One line that shows just the amazing writing of this show that I particularly absolutely loved was when they find out that Diamond Tiara is the editor in chief, and
That
Sweetie Belle
freaking blew.
and when Sweetie Belle says, "Well, we might get our cutie marks as journalists, isn't it worth a little grief?" That was just like very good point, Sweetie Belle. Very, very good point.
Well, anyway, I told you all my first episode of first season,
Mm.
which was Cutie Mark Chronicles. My second, I mean, most likely would be Dragon Shy, because it shows that how badass Fluttershy is when she tamed the dragon.
Yes.
She made the dragon cry. I'm like, ah. Even Rainbow Dash couldn't do that.
Hmm.
You know. But I love the ending. I think the ending was even funnier.
Yeah.
Where
Where Dash does the fainting goat thing.
yeah, Dash is yep, and she goes "Ee!" And then my third episode of season 1 be Sonic Rainbow, which is also an M.A. Larson written episode.
Hmm.
I thought it was cool when they called her Rainbow Crash.
Hmm.
I love how she just saved the day on everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I think myself after that, I'm like, oh yeah, the Wonderbolts are gonna ask her to join the
Asked her to join their team.
them. And apparently in season 3, they might actually get on to doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I said Return to Harmony as my favorite. They were both by M.A. Larson as well, which he actually has a lot of episodes in season 2.
Mm-hmm.
My second favorite, I mean, it's kind of a surprise. I think is the Super Speedy Cider Squeezy 6000, which is also an M.A. Larson episode. I don't know. It's just that song,
Yeah.
A song, I tell you what.
And apparently
it's so catchy.
Apparently you're a big fan of M.A. Larson then.
Apparently. Well, I mean, I'm the one that did the interview for him when we went to a Midwest trip. But
yeah, and
look that up on the on our episode list.
Mm.
I think, like I said, it's more really the song, and it shows that they can, they may not make it as fast, but their quality is way better.
Mm-hmm.
When you do it, that way they do it.
Mm-hmm.
Machines can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And my third one is actually another M.A. Larson. Shocker, isn't it? It's a Ponyville Confidential as well. Because what was the name that they used?
The Gabby Gums.
Gabby Gums. Yep. I love how they turned the entire town against them in 10 seconds flat. It was horrible.
Yeah.
And then they we're gonna pull our last post and everything. Then, Damitiar threatened them with that photo.
Mm-hmm. Threatened to blackmail them.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah, it is.
Blackmailing in this show.
In a kid's show.
In a little girl's show for bronies.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I think so. I mean, there's so many good episodes of season 2 that's so hard to make a top 3.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like the Mysterious Ne'er-do-well as well.
Mm-hmm.
I love how they made so where Rainbow Dash learned how quirky she was when she was saving lives. She's like, "Oh, I'm the best ever," and then there's someone that's almost like Batman, saving everyone else, taking her, her hurrah, and turning it against her. But like I said, you're gonna be seeing all the commentary very shortly.
So the next area of this podcast we're going to be going to is fanfics. And we have 3 fanfics to talk to you guys about today. The first one we're going to be talking about is Green. And yes, I understand this is a shipping fic. I'm not huge on a lot of shipping fics. Most of them are not all that good. This one has to be one of the best shipping fics I've ever read, though. Because it's, number one, it's incredibly well written in the way that it portrays that Rarity and Fluttershy, are crushing on each other.
Right.
But what's really interesting is that you can feel the tension in the air because of it. And it's handled really well. And it's interesting. It does have different shippings, not just Rare Shy, but it does have Twinkie or Twilight Pinkie, and Rainbow Jack, or Rainbow Dash and Applejack. And they do have some interludes with that kind of stuff. But if you're into shipping fics like that, definitely check it out. It's really good. Next fanfic we're going to be talking about is one that hasn't garnered a lot of attention, unfortunately, and I'm really sad to see that. It is Relapse and Wicker's Guide to the Departed. And actually, this was the one that Brian made the artwork for, which really amazing artwork, I must say.
Thank you. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. But this is one where it hasn't garnered a lot of attention, and unfortunately, Chrome Dash has basically said that he's going to try and update it one more time, and if it doesn't garner much more attention, he's going to try to stray away from it. I'm going to try to help him out here. But basically, what it is that this is at least 50 or so years before the start of the show. I think it was 936 years after the banishment of Luna, if I'm not mistaken. And there's this guy named Real who's living on the outskirts of Equestria, in this desert-like town. He doesn't know what he wants to do with his life. And so some school bullies trick him into going into a haunted house on Nightmare Night. He gets caught up in there, and then he meets a ghost telling him, you need to get out of here if you're going to find what your special talent is. Gives him a bar of gold, and he heads off to Philadelphia.
They're rich!
But that's as far as the story has gotten. Really good fanfic. If you liked Hope in the Storm, definitely recommend this one. And that's really all I have to say about it. Definitely give this some attention. I really want to see this fanfic succeed because it is really good. And then the final fanfic we're going to be talking about is actually a combination of two fanfics. One being the first fanfic and the other one being the sequel to the fanfic. It is a combination of Post-Notables and Families. Post-Notables, at first, is basically right after, it's in between the wedding and the reception for Candlelight Wedding. And it's each of the main six feeling like they let Twilight down by completely rejecting her. And there's minor characters that come up, like Applejack talks to Apple Fritter. Rarity talks to Fancy Pants. Fluttershy talks to Iron Will, which was so incredibly awkward.
Iron Will.
And Dash talked to Soren.
Of course.
But, there was different stuff there, and it was really interesting to see that they all genuinely care for Twilight. But the one that's in progress right now is Families. And the interesting thing about this one is that basically there's three different things going on. Pinky has to go face her parents. I'm not going to spoil why. Scootaloo's parents do not like her hanging around with Rainbow Dash. And finally, Spike feels worse because he rejected Twilight. Number one, because he's her freaking assistant. But he also feels like Twilight should be a mom to him. And he doesn't know how to express that. And it's really sad to see. And Twilight's walking a very fine line when dealing with Spike. But yeah, definitely check these two out. Post-Notables will be first, and then Families will be second. Definitely check these out if you want to delve more into like the psyche of what happened during Candlelight Wedding and whatnot. So, yeah, that's basically it for the fanfics.
Yep.
And now we are going into a second discussion here, which is a simple discussion of what is our favorite ponies. Now, this is going to be in three different categories: Best Main Six, Best CMC, and Best Background Pony. So, for me, Best Main Six, as you've all known, is Fluttershy. And the reasoning for that is that I find her to be the most emotionally complex of the main six, most emotionally engaging as well. And she's just an all-around very interesting character, seeing all those different sides to her character. And she does have some really funny moments and very cute moments as well. So, what about you?
I think everyone should know this by now. My favorite main six is and always will be Rainbow Dash. She's the most energetic, I think, out of all of them. she wants, everything to be a competition, I think that's, kind of like how I am.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
she's
this
just
kid over here always tries to one-up me on everything.
liar. Yeah, it's true.
Anyway.
But I think I don't know what it is, but everyone I think probably thinks the same thing as I do about this, but we think Rainbow Dash is like a tomboy.
Mm-hmm.
Where she acts more like a dude. She's not afraid to get dirty or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then the
Okay.
Sonic Rainbow. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
that's just
That's a big thing
That's
there.
the ticket right there.
Yeah.
That's the ticket.
So,
All right.
favorite CMC for me, it's Scootaloo. And I think this is the big thing with me is that she is very similar to Rainbow Dash, but in her own little way. But I mean, I think that's one of the main reasons why I like Scootaloo so much is because I like Fluttershy's main six, I have to have some sort of fix with a tomboy attitude, which is Scootaloo from the CMC. And I like how she does idolize Rainbow Dash, which is just really awesome. And it's great to have a role model like that. What is your favorite CMC?
Oh, that's actually so hard because mine's split between two. Actually, all three of them have their good parts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's so hard. I mean, it's so hard to choose one of the three.
I remember you had said at one point, I think it was the Bridal Gossip commentary, that you said that you liked Apple Bloom the most.
I did. I like. Oh, that's so tough. Because I'm going back through all the episodes. I'm like, wait, hold on. So hard. I can spend like 20 minutes thinking about both of them, but all three of them, I mean, but
In the hum-ha voice.
the ha boys. But if I had to choose, man, I can't. There's no way I could choose one of the three. There's no way I have to choose either two or all of them.
Well, then what's your favorite reasons for liking all three?
All right. Apple Bloom. I mean, she's. How do I say? I mean, it's so hard. There's so many reasons too. But I like how she like she acts, like a little filly,
Mm-hmm.
where she's like, but I want it now.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the lesson in her episode where she's not the only filly out there without their cutie mark.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how they just started the CMC from
Mm-hmm.
that moment on. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Scootaloo. I mean, there's so many more things I can say about Scootaloo. I mean, like what you said, idolizing Rainbow Dash.
Mm-hmm.
I love how she drives her little thing with her wings.
Yes.
And she just
yes.
goes blasting speeds.
Yes. That's another thing that I love about Scootaloo as well.
But, and also I like the moment that was in I don't remember what episode was
Cutie
it?
Mark Chronicles.
Yeah, it was Cutie Mark Chronicles. But and I love her attitude's just like Rainbow Dash. It's like a tomboy type of attitude.
Very spunky.
Yeah, but and then Sweetie Belle. I mean, I love her voice. I mean, her voice is just absolutely astonishing.
And we can thank Claire Cordat for that.
Yep. But like I said, there's like so many reasons for all three of them. But
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think of the CMC? I have a question for you.
Okay.
Which of the CMC is the most mature?
That's very tough because all three of them act like little fillies at points, and all of them do act mature at some points. If I had to say least mature, I would still say Scootaloo, because even though she does, I've only heard her say yes ma'am once, which was in Owl's Well That Ends Well.
Yep.
I would probably have to say Sweetie Belle.
Oh, come on!
Because she's constantly wanting to help her older sister. She's constantly wanting to help out, wanting to help Rarity. And she's genuinely trying, but just messing up. And I think that's a really mature attitude to have, that you want to be responsible with things. As of most mature, I would say Sweetie Belle by a long shot.
Good answer.
Um, and then the final category is background ponies, and this is a very shallow reason for me to like this character.
Oh, it's
but mine is Vinyl Scratch. Yes. And there's one reason for that. Actually, a couple reasons. Once he's a disc jockey, which is absolutely wonderful. I love disc jockeys. With the turntables and everything. But I also I think the fandom's portrayal of her is what I like about her, because she does have a very spunk attitude. She's always just loud, and one of the big things is that both me and her absolutely love dubstep, and that's a big thing with me. I'm a huge fan of dubstep. I've always been a fan of electronic music, and when dubstep came out, I'm like, holy crap, this is awesome.
Wub cannon!
Oh, it's nothing special. It's just my bass cannon. But yeah, that I know it's a very shallow reason to like Vinyl Scratch, but that's the big reason for me why I like Vinyl Scratch as best background pony. What about you?
See, I think most people would say Derpy Hooves, but that is not in Derpy. I don't think it's even in my top 5. High five, bro. But it's so hard because I can go so many ways. But my favorite background pony, I don't know if you consider it actually a background pony though, because you only see her in one episode.
Which is?
It is Daring Do.
Okay.
Daring Do. I mean, I love the Indiana Jones reference. I think that's the most amazing, thing they ever did. Which is actually, I forgot about that episode, putting in my favorite episodes. I completely forgot about that. That is actually my favorite episode of season 2.
Okay.
So I had to make it into a top 4.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think Daring Do. I mean, they got the idea off Rainbow Dash. If you actually look at the pony itself, it's the exact same thing as Rainbow Dash, minus the different color skin and the hair. It's the exact same pony though. I've proven that. But what I love, I love her adventure. I would love to actually have an episode where actually she comes into Ponyville and is like a main character in the episode and meets all like the main 6 and everything, and they do an adventure or something. Now, I personally think that'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would actually get a lot of people to watch the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike, well, I mean, there's gonna be people watching every episode, but I mean,
yeah,
the Daring,
even more of a reason to like it.
I think the Daring Do one was actually got a lot of people, like a lot of Indiana Jones referenced people to watch it.
Yeah, definitely,
which was awesome, and I loved her adventure in that episode too, where she has to go through the Empire to snatch the
yes.
The crystal. Was it the crystal?
It was going through a temple filled with booby traps to grab the sapphire statue.
Oh, it's a sapphire statue. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But basically the same thing as what Indiana Jones did with the Crystal Empire. But
very interesting.
It's like I said, Daring Do is my favorite background pony. But I got a question.
Okay.
Out of all the princesses, which one is your favorite? Featuring Celestia, Luna, and Cadence.
I personally think Luna. I think her characterization is really good, especially if you've seen Crystal Empire. She almost has this doubtful look on her face that Twilight won't be able to pass her test, and it shows really well that she doesn't know Twilight well enough to fully put her trust in her. And it's a very interesting concept with her.
Mine is Cadence.
Okay.
Cadence all day. I love how the way that she was trapped by Queen Chrysalis, and Twilight was banished by Chrysalis as well. Mm-hmm. And then they went through a whole setup and everything. Mm-hmm. And she showed how much she loved Shining Armor. Mm-hmm. That she was able to pull through all that and defeat. They were all eventually able to defeat Chrysalis. Mm-hmm. I love how she's the. I love how she's the. She's the princess of the
The Crystal Empire.
The Crystal Empire, yeah. And that's actually part of her cutie mark,
Mm-hmm.
which is awesome. The heart is the crystal heart,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is actually awesome, and I didn't expect it.
Yes. You got a crystal heart!
She has a crystal heart!
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think once they bring her into more episodes, I think she'll, you'll get more out of her.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then we're gonna finally wrap this up a little bit with some of the episodes that we're excited for with season 3. We don't have much of a list at all.
Yeah, we only got like 8 episodes that are actually known.
Mm-hmm.
I think both of us are actually very excited about is the Wonderbolts Academy.
Yes, very much so. That was one that in the previous podcast I had said I'm excited to see what they can do with Rainbow Dash becoming a Wonderbolt. I don't know if they will be doing anything in terms of how I thought they were going to portray it, but I thought it's still very interesting. And that they're finally going back into the Wonderbolts thing.
Right.
Because we didn't really see that much in season 2, unfortunately.
Yeah, apparently I think it's actually coming up in a couple of weeks. I think it's actually December 1st, this episode.
Okay.
Where they're saying that Trixie is going to be coming back, and is going to beat Twilight in a magic duel and banishes Twilight out of Ponyville.
That's going to be a scene, and I'm sure you're going to be ranting through the whole freaking thing.
Most likely, but the thing is that Twilight, I bet you, is not even trying.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to cause any, BS or anything.
Mm-hmm.
She just wants to, keep peace with everyone and every pony, but she's going to realize that once she's banished, she has to go back and she'll have to kick Trixie's butt to the curb.
Yes. So
it should be interesting.
So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. And
I hope you had as much fun as we did.
Yes, definitely some great discussions in this one.
Absolutely.
And this is the Undercover Brony.
Yes, sir. And we are out.
Peace.
Peace.